Hey, how's it going, guys? So, the Road to Halo Part 1 video was published on my channel a long time ago. I mean, this is like nearly the beginning of the channel. And I really enjoyed it. It was an hour long. I still remember it, telling basically the beginning of like human race all the way up to like the events of Halo. And that's what I really liked about the video was like how it tied real life events, like, you know, wars, civil wars, world wars, and Cold War, and just like everything that happened modern wise. And now it is and then basically just like canonized into like the future of Halo. So that's what I really liked about it. And also, shout out and credit goes to Offscreen, the channel Offscreen, for creating the video. And also shout out and credit goes to Offscreen again for reaching out to me, notifying me that part 2 is available, along with one of my other subscribers in my Wolfenstein 2 gameplay video. He also notified me that part 2 is up, and I was like, wow, dude, it's been like more than a year since I saw part 1, and I'm really looking forward to part 2. So it looks like part 2 is a lot longer, 2 hours and 18 minutes. So I'm going to be watching this in increments, so you might see cuts in the videos, guys, just heads up. But however, I'll still put all those into like one complete video, so this is going to be a long video. But the description says the complete story of the Spartan-II program from 2510 to 2525. So basically we're going to be talking about 15 years in 2 hours, a little over 2 hours. So I'm really looking forward to it, and hope you guys are too. Hope you guys got drinks, snacks, because this is basically a movie. And also, again, off screen, if you're watching this, thank you so much for notifying me that part 2 is up. And also, I just want to share this unique fact, guys. Offscreen is actually the only YouTube channel so far that has like given me a shout out to like his audience, because that's why I was like really surprised that he reached out to me and said like, I've been notified about like you watching a part 1 on my birthday, and then he like put a like community post on his channel notifying like his channel that I reacted to his part 1 video. So that was insane, because no channel has ever done that before, and like I said, I'm a pretty small channel still, so that blew my mind. But anyways, enough of that. Let's jump into the Road to Halo Part 2. Oh, chapters. So it looks like we're going to be starting with Dr. Halsey. Spartan-II.
It has been 2 years since esteemed sociologist Dr. Elias Carver committed suicide, believing his controversial paper, The Carver Findings, may have sparked the insurrection now tearing human society apart. Dr. Catherine Halsey,
Oh yeah, let's have some subtitles.
18 years old, brilliant beyond her years, has been relocated to the planet Reach by the Office of Naval Intelligence,
Oni,
with the goal of putting an end to the widespread rebellion pushing humanity into a new dark age. A few months into setting up her lab, she makes a routine trip for coffee and spots something in a local shop. A handmade journal. On a whim,
that's a cool cover.
and in the interest of storing her thoughts in a form that cannot be infiltrated by the Office of Naval Intelligence's digital intrusion algorithms, she buys it.
Makes sense, they can't hack that.
Writing does help. To get it all on paper. Out of my head. And so I begin. To learn whether humanity can be saved from itself. And the role I will play in its uncertain destiny.
August 2510. Sorry guys, I won't be around when this happens. Well, none of us has. The insurrection has been burning across human space for 16 years. Countless lives have been lost. The planets of the outer colonies, once burgeoning frontiers, have become war-torn battlefields. I still remember that from the part 1 video, like the insurgents and the rebellions and all that. Political assassinations are commonplace. Captain Cole, a brilliant but morally complicated man, is the focus of the United Nations Space Command's propaganda machine, the UNSC, spreading news to the inner colonies about his many successes against the INI threat. The conflict escalates every day. Man, the caption's talking about like artilleries and distant gunfire. Abrupt silence. Reyes McLee's shipyards.
A
On
new
Mars.
line of cruisers, the Halcyon-class cruiser, leaves dry dock for the first time. Among them is the Pillar of Autumn,
Oh, there it is.
a ship which would go on to play a pivotal role in the destiny of humankind,
And the games.
becoming one of the most famous ships in history. It is equipped to deploy the latest in a line of state-of-the-art Mark III exoskeletons, building on the successes of the Mark I utilized during the Interplanetary War 2 centuries before.
I don't think I've seen that armor before.
I sit in my new yet unstaffed laboratory. The racks of AI matrices and optical routers still sealed in their crates. How many lives must be spent to save all of humanity? Is any price too high to pay?
Halsey would begin reviewing data on the failed Orion project, the Office of Naval Intelligence's original attempts to create augmented special forces. In February of the following year, she would summarize her findings, concluding that Oni had the right idea in training non-traditional forces to quell dissident leadership. But their misunderstanding of genetic variables and psychological profiling were key factors in the failure of the program, musing what would be required to create a successful second-generation Orion program. Halsey comes to a few key conclusions.
Clone children and take them.
Statistically, over 39 billion DNA records are required. The largest DNA database is currently the CAA's Outer Colony Vaccination Program, which regularly catalogs the DNA traces from the disposed injectors. To forge a new breed of Orion soldiers into unrivaled human weapons, we must maintain absolute control over them. Criteria involving genetic flexibility, a statistically improbable set of DNA markers, and a decade of indoctrination and training leads me to one conclusion. The ideal candidates are children.
8 days after
So I just want to put something like have an input in that. So I know they're called, of course, they're called Spartans, but if you look at like the Greek Spartans, like in the movie 300, they already understood that conclusion as well. That has to be from children, because in case you guys didn't know, Spartan children, by law, they're taken away from their families at the age of 7, and they're like brutally trained and put in like rigorous training. Just fight, starve, and they basically it's just survival of the fittest. And they have to go through a traditional event called the Yogogi, and basically any children that does not survive, oh well. And those who do survive will become Spartans. So basically, culling of the week, trying to figure out which of the children is strong enough to become a Spartan. And if I remember correctly, they don't get to see their families until like the age of 21. So basically, it's like 14 years of brutal training. However, because of that, since they started at such a young age, they're already like brainwashed into thinking like it's just battle, birth, battle, fighting, and death, nothing else. And if you die on the battlefield in service to Sparta, you already achieved the highest glory possible. So that's how it is. Because if they started off at such a young age, but they don't know anything else, then they will literally just fight and die without like any question and any complaints, because that's the only life they know. So I really like how she had to like go through her findings and say like, okay, so this is my conclusion. It's children. When if you look at like thousands of years ago, they already knew that conclusion. I'm pretty sure the Ottoman Janissaries also had like the same idea. So basically, uh, if you look at history, like some of the most brutal and like best trained warriors, they all had the same thing. Start the candidates young, so basically you can like instill that like mindset into them at such a young age that when they like grow up to like into their 20s, then they're already like a brutal war machine. I just wanted to put that out there, just like the correlation between the Halo Spartans and the Greek Spartans of long ago, like in the movie 300.
After recording these conclusions in her journal, a string of terrorist attacks on the Brazilian colony world of Mamor concludes when an insurrectionist suicide bomber loads a nuclear device used in commercial asteroid mining onto a truck and detonates it in the city of Haven.
Damn, he
The
nuked the
death
city?
toll was estimated at 2 million, with 8.3 million injured.
That's
The
crazy.
blast plume sent radioactive debris high into the atmosphere, killing millions more through radiation illness
Oh, so
and
it's dirty as
generational
well.
birth defects.
It's a dirty bomb.
They must be stopped. I have to stop this.
Spurred by the accelerated attacks, Halsey moves forward with plans for her Gen 2 Orion program, exploring the possibility of adapting polymerized lithium niobosine, a material used to discharge the vast amounts of static energy that plague ships in slipstream space, into force-multiplying suits for her operatives. Next to sketches of the antiquated Mark I exoskeletons developed by the CMA, she notes that
When worn, it could effectively increase the linearly coupled strength of a Gen 2 Orion soldier.
Also, there's a Mjolnir armor.
tenfold or more.
in September of that year, Halsey records,
Most muscular and organ cloning techniques were perfected long ago. The stubborn holdout was the human brain, which until 5 years ago had defied conventional cloning procedures. But memory implant remained an elusive dream. Until recently. Thus, we can manufacture a complete human clone
Oh,
that
here's
is
where it
virtually
comes in.
indistinguishable from the original host. I've informed the Vice Admiral that we are initiating the next phase of the project. Candidate procurement.
I wonder if she left out any certain details about taking
it
children.
was around this time, on the outer colony world of Onyx, settled 20 years before, that archaeological expeditions uncovered massive subterranean structures not built by human hands. Although word of these discoveries would leak to a small number of people within the academic community, the site, designated Zone 67, was quickly classified by the Office of Naval Intelligence. The powers that be decided that evidence of a non-human, alien civilization was something that humanity was not ready for, embroiled as they were in interstellar war.
Oh, this is new.
Colonization efforts on the planet were halted, and its location removed from all navigation databases.
It's
What
classified.
follows is a top-secret ONI field report on the discoveries.
Concerning the alien ruins discovered in Zone 67, we continue to find evidence of an advanced culture
Ghosts of
with
Onyx.
superlative grasp of mathematics and astrogation, with some possible artistic representations that suggest a spacefaring race.
Is this a book?
See attached digital images of onyx carvings. Their numerous hieroglyphics, while at first glance comparable to ancient terrestrial Aztec variants, are in fact nothing at all like these primitive Earth counterparts. Several layers of symbology suggest a higher dimensional approach to their language.
Oh yeah, it is
If
a
it
novel.
can even be truly thought of as writing or language in any human sense.
I gotta look into it.
Translation continues to elude all experts, human and AI. Recommendation: increased funding and excavation will undoubtedly yield hitherto unknown technologies. End.
Yeah, I'm
In
gonna have to look into that book.
2512, Vice Admiral Stanforth, the man responsible for recruiting Halsey and overseeing her research, was promoted to the head of the Office of Naval Intelligence's Section 3, the branch overseeing special projects. With this move, candidate selection for Halsey's Gen 2 Orion program was greenlit.
Ah,
A list of 300 children with ideal genetic markers was compiled from outer colony DNA databases. Early the next year, Robert Watts, organizer of the original Aridness Uprising and founder of the United Rebel Front, emerged from hiding with a unified fleet of captured ships and took Aridness II once again. They were put down a second time by the UNSC, but retreated to their hiding spot in the Aridness asteroid belt. Now a permanent resistance stronghold, Following news of the insurrection closely, Dr. Halsey was motivated to see her project to completion. With the approved 300 initial candidates in mind, and drawing obvious parallels to history, she would write in her journal,
The 300 Spartans
Here we
who
go.
defended Greece at Thermopylae is a well-known and cherished tale, almost to the point of romantic fanaticism within the military community. There is an ancient saying, the beginning of wisdom is ignorance. So where do we begin to create the ultimate warrior? With innocence.
With that,
Kids.
Orion Project Gen 2 was formally rebranded SPARTAN-II. In 2515,
So before we continue, I just want to say, so now we're starting to like get into like the events of that movie, Halo: Fall of Reach, because I still remember that, and it's showing basically John 117's life as a kid all the way up to almost modern time, like into the video games. So I'm really excited to see like how this is gonna go. And it looks like the chapter is called Adam and Eve, and we're jumping into the year 2515.
the stalwart class of light frigates enters service, manufactured by Synoviet Heavy Machinery. With work on her powered assault armor underway, and a list of Spartan-II candidates narrowed down from 300 to 150 candidates, Halsey is promoted to Scientific Advisor to the Office of Naval Intelligence. The next year, a significant uprising occurs on the outer colony world of Talitsa. By 2517, the Spartan-II program was officially underway. In August, ONI operatives were sent to various sectors in the outer colonies to locate the children, with Halsey participating personally in candidate procurement for Sector 4. ONI provided her with a diplomatic shuttle, the Han, and a lieutenant junior grade attaché for security, Jacob Keyes.
Here we go.
We are preparing to exit slip space near the Eridanus system.
Dr. Halsey?
Already awake and on the bridge, sir.
Of course she is.
Start a pre-burn warm-up cycle for the fusion engines.
Understood, Doctor. Exiting slip space in 6 seconds.
This
Good.
should be
And some
from
music. Rachmaninoff's
Fall from-
Concerto
Fall
Number
of
3,
Reach.
I think.
What are we doing here? This area is dangerous. It's been an insurrectionist stronghold for years. Torin, list rebel acts of violence in this sector last 5 days.
72 hours ago. Insurrectionists destroy emergency food caravan. 18 hours ago. Rebellion raids merchant vessel, murders entire...
I am painfully aware of the
Damn.
rebellion, Lieutenant. Something needs to be done. Oni agrees with me. That is why we are here.
Elysium City, Radness 2. Yeah, this is from the movie.
Pay attention. We are here to observe a boy.
Oh, by the way, guys, I just want to add, I did react to Halo: Fall of Reach on my channel, so that reaction video is on the channel if you guys are interested in watching it.
The first of many evaluations in the weeks to come. This child could be more useful to the UNSC than a fleet of destroyers, 1,000 lieutenants, or even me. In the end,
She's right.
one child could be the difference between peace and an unwinnable war. Ah, there's our young man.
John, Candidate
117.
117. The first. And at 6 years old, already unquestionably violent and aggressive.
Who's next?
By every standard, a bully.
Over a dozen broken arms, collarbones, and fingers among his opponents.
But what Halsey saw was potential.
Even as a child, I could see how special he was. I simply needed to carve away everything else to get to it. To shape it. Form him into everything I knew he would eventually become.
Him? He can't be more than...
6. John, like all of our candidates, is 6 years old. And like the others, he has all the genetic markers. There's something else that makes him of interest.
Of interest to whom, precisely?
Here, record our interaction. I'll talk to him, find out if his character is as exceptional as his DNA.
What happened next was perhaps one of the most pivotal moments in human history. And it hinged on the legacy of a long-dead nation from Earth's past.
Hello. What's your name?
It's John.
And what game were you playing, John? War?
King of the Hill. Mom says I'm too rough with the other kids.
You like games? So do I. I have another game, if you're interested. This is a coin. Win the game, and you keep the coin. You see the two sides?
Yes, a man and a bird.
Which side will land up?
I think this is like testing his perception.
Bird.
Very good. Again.
Man.
Again.
Man. Bird. Bird.
5 out of 5, John. That's unusual.
You said I could keep it if I won.
Yes. You can keep it, John.
Yes.
I cursed myself for using his name. I couldn't afford the luxury of fondness. No telling if Subject 117 would even survive what lay ahead.
Tell me you recorded that.
He handed her the data pad and looked
There it is.
puzzled. Yes. What was it all about? Dr. Halsey checked the recording and then sent a copy ahead to Torin on
I gotta
the
read the
Han
book,
for
too.
safekeeping. We screen these subjects for certain genetic markers, she said. Strength, agility, even predispositions for aggression and intellect. But we couldn't remote test for everything. We don't test for luck. Luck? Lieutenant Keyes asked. You believe in luck, Doctor? Of course not, she said with a dismissive wave of her hand. But we have 150 test subjects to consider, and facilities and funding for only half that number. It's simple mathematical elimination, Lieutenant. That child was one of the lucky ones. Either that, or he is extraordinarily fast. Either way, he's in. I don't understand, Lieutenant Keyes said, and he started fiddling with a pipe he carried in his pocket. I hope that continues, Lieutenant, Dr. Halsey replied quietly. For your sake, I hope you never understand what we're doing.
Wow.
ONI Field Report, September 2nd, 2517, Military Calendar. Subject, Status of Ruins in Zone 67.
Oh, back to the Onyx.
Continued excavations of millions of cubic feet of earth in Zone 67 yield ruined buildings, carvings, and tablets. But as with the other regions, no discoveries of a technological nature discovered. Or if there are, we lack sufficient understanding to discern their function. Carvings depicting the inhabitants of Onyx still not found. Whatever these creatures look like, for the moment, remains a mystery. The senior staff now believes that a sudden cataclysm claimed the inhabitants of this world. Unknown if pathological, sociological, or radiological in nature. This may, however, explain the higher-than-normal background radiation levels. Recommendation: increased staff and funding. The ruins are so extensive, they could take several lifetimes to unearth them all. This entire world may be covered in similar ruins.
The whole
New
world is a ruin.
technologies certainly must have survived and await discovery. End.
You ever wonder what's up there?
So, looks like the two main focuses so far in the video is the SPARTAN-II program, but also the ruins of Onyx, the facilities. I mean, the Spartan-II program, very familiar because of the games and also the Fall of Reach. I'm really happy I watched that video before. I watched that movie before this. But the Ghosts of Onyx is brand new to me. I did not know about that, so I'm going to have to take a look into that book.
Like what? Maybe someone up there was wondering what it's like here. I guess.
I wonder if Halo Forward
think
Unto
we'll
Dawn
meet
is going to be
them?
on here too.
I hope so. Don't you?
By this time, Halsey had selected her 75 candidates. Flash clones of the subjects, rapidly accelerated to the target age and implanted with false memories, were taken by Oni operatives to replace the abducted children.
Yep, because the
Years
clones
before, in her journal, Halsey had explored the progressive effects of flash cloning when researching the breakthroughs on memory implantation.
Rapid flash cloning of immense volumes of tissue induces gross DNA base pair errors. Congenital defects increase 42%. Incidence of Parkinson plus syndromes increase 67%. With brain memory replication, there is an 82% rate of dementia, schizophrenia, and brain cancers. Although a small fraction of clones are projected to live a normal lifespan, the average half-life of the physiology in toto is 14.7 weeks.
Not only was she condemning 75 children to a life of military indoctrination and physical augmentation, but also their families, condemned to witness the onset of progressive diseases in the flash clone replacements that would brutally rip them from their lives.
Yeah.
Halsey had broken countless laws in the acquisition of her subjects, not the least of which was the Geneva Conventions, the UN Genetic Rights Act, and the Mortal Dictata, implemented during the Interplanetary War, to curtail unethical research by genetics corporations operating outside Earth's jurisdiction.
The Mortal Dictata are a suite of laws that remind us of the basic moral duty that we owe our own species. They bar us from creating humans for the purposes of harvesting tissue, even if that human has an otherwise independent life. They bar us from enslaving others, and they bar us from cloning entire humans.
Well, Halsey did all, almost all of
Dr.
them.
Halsey, at this point, had become a war criminal. And she had done it with the Office of Naval Intelligence's approval.
These are the 75, Deja.
That's why she's not in prison, because Oni's protecting
Confidential
her.
journal entry. Read encryption using my private key. As I said before, I don't regret any of this. I thought it all the way through. I am certain it will be worthwhile. Right at that moment, across several star systems, children were being acquired and shipped like freight to the planet Reach.
087 Kelly.
We were replacing the children with flash clones, imperfect simulacra, but nigh impossible to detect. If I could have used the clones, of course I would have. But the damn things broke down faster than we could grow them. We needed real children. Whole children. It was a regrettable, but necessary, deception. I needed those subjects. Orion II would not have succeeded built on a foundation of compromise. Oni would have its soldiers. And I would have my solution.
Yeah, I know the whole thing is very morally questionable, like what she did, and taking children and destroying the lives, and also like forcing young children into military conscription, and also destroying families. But however, if you look at the events of the game, if she did not do this, then humanity would have definitely lost to the Covenant. So I guess to win, sometimes you just have to break a few rules.
May God have mercy on us all.
"1700 hours. Aridness 2. John is kidnapped from his bed while sleeping and replaced with his flash clone. Ember, Kelly Shattuck, after evading her captors for 6 hours, finally comes forward believing she had won an elaborate game.
But
it was her birthday. Sansar. Naomi Sensky gets off the bus one stop early to look at the stars. The confidential report on candidate retrieval would later read,
Subject 010 was lured into close physical contact so the sedative could be administered with minimum distress to her. She appeared to be fully sedated when placed in the support vehicle, but she regained consciousness while her clothing was being transferred to the clone replacement and became agitated and unexpectedly combative. Naomi screamed as loud and as long as she could. That was what grown-ups had told her to do if a stranger grabbed her. To scream and make a fuss until someone noticed and came to help her.
Makes sense.
She'd never been so scared in her life because Mom and Dad didn't know where she was, and it was all her fault because she hadn't gone straight home.
Oh, the music.
Daisy, Sam Westergaard, Randall Aiken, Kurt Trevelyan, Saren Selick, Linda Provden, Fred Ellsworth, Douglas Rutland, Jerome Cable, Alice Tresky, Arthur Remo, Caleb, Jai, George, and one very special
George.
candidate,
I remember. Jorge.
Soren of Dwarka. The only child to whom Halsey told the truth. The only child to enter the program willingly, leaving behind a childhood of misery, trauma, and death. Across 75 planets and colonies, children...
So there was a child that went willingly? I did not know that. So, hey, well done. Soren. Oh, that's right. Soren 066. He was in the Halo TV show. I remember. But then, even though he went willingly, he deserted later on.
Were being taken from their homes, sedated, and placed into cryo for the long voyage to reach.
No wonder the name sounded familiar.
On Sansar, after searching all night, Staffan and Lena Sensky would receive a phone call from the police, notifying them that their daughter had been found at the bus stop where she had disappeared. In the hospital, after being assessed for injuries, Staffan would embrace the child he believed to be his daughter.
When he cuddled Naomi, she looked at him blankly for a second, as if she was working out who he was. But then she smiled. It worried him. Maybe they'd sedated her. Staffan looked at the doctor. No sedation, he said. She wasn't agitated, and she has no injuries at all. Which is odd, given that she can't remember how she got to the bus stop. Where are all the other doctors? Naomi asked. There were always more than this. Whatever had happened, she was a lot quieter than normal. When she got up to go to the bathroom, she stood in the hallway for a moment as if she was working out where it was, and Lena had to lead her upstairs. When she came back and started reading her book, she turned it over from time to time to frown at the cover, and she didn't finish her favorite sandwich. Lena put her to bed early, and she didn't beg for a few more minutes to finish the chapter. She didn't do anything that she usually did.
It's just a cover.
They were human. They were created in a lab, altered so their bodies grew painfully fast, their bones stretching by the hour, newborns inflated into 6-year-olds. Someone taught them to walk, to speak. Did their handlers touch them? Did anyone look in their eyes? Did they have names? When it was time, O and I plopped them into some other kid's life, leaving them alone in a dark, unfamiliar room in a bed that was probably still warm. In the morning, a family would walk in, strangers who wouldn't even know to explain any of this to them. No one would comfort them. They were completely lost. And then these small children would begin to die, breaking, withering away, surrounded by confused, heartbroken strangers who were powerless to help them, all the doctors making frantic attempts to stop the spreading rot from eating this little, terrified person alive. It was all just desperate wailing against the inevitable, and they would be forced to endure all of it because no one knew the truth, that these children had lived in chaos until they died in excruciating pain because someone had designed them to do just that.
Yeah, nothing more.
The nightmare the clones endured was not a byproduct of ONI's plan. The nightmare was the plan.
The families subjected to this trauma would never recover from their loss.
Not surprised.
Years later, their hearts were still filled with regret.
She died from something called metabolic cascade failure, which is doctor speak for everything falls apart. She couldn't talk when she got back from the hospital and couldn't walk a few weeks later.
Oh my God.
It took her a year to die.
Oh my God, your poor parents.
I used to take her out for walks. I would push her wheelchair around in places we used to play, at swings, and she didn't even Yasmin never lost at anything. Anything. I just couldn't believe that she'd...
It wasn't your fault, Kamal.
John was perfectly healthy, but then he just started wasting away.
John
At first they
117.
thought maybe it was some autoimmune thing, and then they thought it was something else, and then meanwhile he's getting all these tests, but the doctors couldn't figure it out at all, and his parents were panicking. It sounded horrible.
These people, these clones, they can't walk, they can't talk, they always degenerate. Their systems break down, their metabolisms, and...
Oh my God. Your sister?
No, not my sister, that's the point.
Oh, come on.
We never brought her home from the hospital, Sophie. That thing wasn't her. It was a Flash clone. The whole time. Yasmin, where was she, Sophie? If that was a Flash clone in my house, where was my sister?
Oh.
Waiting for me to come and get her, Sophie. Waiting for me to come and get her. And I never came.
Shh, come on.
I never came.
You didn't know.
So he knew about the Flash clone.
5 days after the abductions, as the reports came in from field operatives tasked with collecting the children, Halsey would write in their journal,
Astonishing. Every candidate has exceeded the selection criteria and my expectations. Superior strength and speed coupled with dazzling intellects and remarkable cognitive absorption rates. In another time, each could have been the next Alexander, Cleopatra, Hannibal, or Genghis Khan.
The next day,
Yeah,
she
I can see
parted
that.
ways with her Navy chaperone. Their task concluded. Keyes was sworn to secrecy.
Oh, they'll see each other again.
And received a promotion and reassignment for his discretion. A week later, the children arrived on Reach.
And that's when the training will begin.
Dr. Halsey knew what she had to do. Her duty. It was for the greater good. All humanity would be served, even if a tiny handful of them had to suffer for it. Still, when she turned inward and faced her complicity in this, she was revolted by what she saw.
Sacrifice the few to save the many.
What happened? How did I get here?
I don't know.
Take a seat. All of you.
I'd be scared as hell too.
Per Naval Code 45812, you are hereby conscripted into UNSC Special Project codenamed Orion-II, also known as SPARTAN-II. Your parents are gone. The planet Reach is your new home. Your fellow trainees are your new family. Each of you has been hand-selected and called to serve. Your bodies are already faster and stronger than other children, and we are going to make them even better. Chief Petty Officer Mendez, escort the children to the mess hall. Feed them. Get them to bed.
Trainees, follow!
And so
Keep
it
them
begins.
busy tomorrow, she told Mendez and Deja. Keep them from thinking about what we've just done to them.
Spartan training.
Wake up, trainee!
Here it goes.
I said up! You know which way up is? Last one up gets it, Jorge!
Here
My
it
name's
is.
pronounced George.
Don't you backtalk me, Jorge!
I still remember that
What's happening?
scene.
I don't know! Just go! Go! Come on, everyone's headed this way. I'm Sam, by the way.
I'm Kelly.
It'll be okay, Kelly.
This is making me want to watch the movie again.
Trainees, I am Chief Mendez. I am your commanding officer. Every day, dawn till dusk, you will do exactly what I say, when I say, how I say. Am I clear, trainees?
Sir, yes, sir!
After grueling physical training, the subjects are introduced to their academic instructor, Halsey's artificial intelligence, Deja.
Come in. Class is about to begin.
We trained their minds as well as their bodies. War strategy, theoretical tactics, Sun Tzu. Nothing in the sprawling history of conflict was overlooked. We taught them about Thermopylae, about the unbeatable Spartans.
That's their inspiration.
Xerxes wanted to steal Greece from the Spartans. His forces numbered in the thousands.
Why didn't Xerxes just sail around them?
Xerxes wanted to send a message, John. He failed, and just 300 Spartans saved Greece.
Yes!
That is all for today.
Yeah, that's
But
their
tomorrow,
inspiration.
I will tell you about wolves.
After their first lesson from Deja, the children were taken to the playground.
Today's mission is ring the bell.
I remember this.
When every member of your team has rung the bell, cross this line. Question, trainee.
What did we win, sir?
You win dinner, 117. Last team to finish goes without dinner.
Oh no!
Hope you're properly
John
inspired.
looked to his right. A boy with sandy hair, green eyes, and darkly tanned skin gave him a weary smile. Stenciled on his sweat top was Samuel, 034. In the row behind Samuel was a girl,
Kelly.
Kelly, 087. She didn't look too happy to see him. John just looked at them and said nothing. The girl would slow him down. Too bad. He was hungry, and he wasn't about to let them make him lose.
Go!
I knew John was a natural leader, even if he didn't.
John, little help?
Yeah, he was kind of selfish at such a young age. Well, he'll learn.
First!
A leader must inspire passion, and 117 certainly did that.
Hey, thanks for nothing. Ugh.
Good work, trainees. Everybody eats. Except 117 and his team.
But I was first.
You were first, but your team came in last. And you don't win unless your team wins.
John ran in a stupor all the way back to the barracks. It wasn't fair. He had won. How can you win and still lose? He watched as the others stuffed themselves with turkey, white meat dripping with gravy.
John had learned his lesson. If he was to make it in this new life, he would have to start thinking beyond himself.
They're stale, but better than nothing.
It's not turkey.
I know. It won't happen again. Promise.
And that was it. Logic, consequences, spark of leadership. All things I saw in him from the start.
After
Yeah, he
that
learned
day,
his lesson.
Sam, Kelly, Linda, and John became fast friends. The other trainees were making friends as well. That night, 2 children met outside the barracks. Despite their deep exhaustion, Jai and Adriana both had the same idea. Escape.
Jai
Oh.
had picked a lock, and they'd snuck out from the barracks, using the shadows until they'd broken for the gates. He got halfway up the fence before the guards turned the electricity on, and Jai had dropped to the ground with Adriana, both writhing in the dust and screaming. "Good evening," Mendes had said, walking up to look down at him. "I don't recall giving you two permission to leave base."
So there was.
Wolves' children are fierce hunters.
I thought Soren was the only one who attempted to escape. So I'm not surprised that there's more. But I guess Soren is kind of the only one who successfully escaped.
But while any wolf can hunt and kill a rabbit, one wolf against larger prey can face a grisly end. But when wolves hunt in a pack, they take down larger prey with ease.
All that was in one week.
Jai used a blanket to help them climb, and the guards caught them on the other side. And after that, it was sprinting across the barren space around the camp.
So he tried again?
They were hunted down in the forest, but he and Adriana split up and eluded their pursuers for days. They came after him on the roads past the forest, hunting them down in large teams by warthog and pelican. The tougher he trained under Mendes, the harder he fought when captured. Guards got shattered kneecaps, lost eyes, fingers, and toes. They'd started tranquilizing him from a pelican at the end, waiting until he burst from the forest and shooting him down from the safety of the sky.
Yeah, dude, he messed them up.
"You're an orphan, right, Jai?" State Dorm 55, bed number 68. And you want to go back to that? Jai nodded. Halsey sighed. You think they remember you there? We called. No one had even noticed I transferred you. No one there cared enough to even check your bed until I called. And you've been gone for months, Jai. No vendors remember you? Your hiding places in the city have been taken over by rats.
Man, Jai is the most resistant.
No one has even noticed you were gone. You had no family, no friends, nothing. You left no imprint on the world when you were taken, Jai. You're fighting so hard to leave when there's nothing for you to go back to.
Wow.
But here, Jai, you have I swear to you.
Halsey would have similar
Well,
talks
when you put
with
it like
many
that.
of the candidates after various escape attempts.
Daddy's not coming for you, Naomi, Halsey was saying. He knows you've got an important job to do. He knows you're too special to be anything other than a Spartan.
Yeah, not surprised that there's multiple kids who tried to escape.
They broke out again, of course.
Oh, okay. So
They
it didn't
made
work.
it out past the fence using a tunnel they'd dug together a week before. But they'd both stopped, well clear of the edge of the forest. What'd she tell you? Jai asked. Adriana had tears streaming down her cheeks.
Adriana again.
I can't tell you. But you're not going to go, are you? No. I like this too much to go, she said, with that odd Adriana smile that Jai was now always comfortable seeing. Me either. They both sat on a log and watched the pelicans crisscross the sky outside the forest, and then turned back for the barracks.
Looks like it worked.
The next day, Mendez introduced them to another attempted escapee.
Jai, Adriana, and Mike, you are now a team. You will eat together, run together, drill together, fight together. Sir! When Mendez left, Adriana and Jai had turned to Mike. What did you do? Mike smiled. I stole a pelican, he said innocently.
What?
Then blew it up when they got me.
What? At 6 years old? Holy!
All 75 children are aboard an Albatross dropship,
That's one hell of a
heading
time
deep into
jump.
a wilderness training preserve in the Vieri territory.
Oh, that's right. Wilderness survival.
Not all recruits have given in to indoctrination and embraced their role, but some have.
He thought about the place that had been his home, his parents. But more and more that seemed like a dream. John knew it wasn't, and that he had once had a different life. But this was the life he wanted. He was a soldier. He had an important job to train for. Mendez said they were the Navy's best and brightest, that they were the only hope for peace. He liked that. Before, he never knew what he would be when he grew up. He never really thought about anything other than watching vids and playing. Nothing had been a challenge. Now, every day was a challenge and a new adventure.
are each being handed a portion of a map of the area below. The mission is simple. You will be individually deployed and use your piece of the puzzle to navigate to the extraction point. Last trainee to make it to extraction will be left behind. And it is a very long walk back. 117, you're first.
Yes, sir.
I think I still remember this, like how they got, how they
Good luck,
completed.
117.
In a way, this is kind of like the Agogi, the Spartans, like training they had back
In the
then.
end, the wilderness mission wasn't a test of strength or survival, but of friendship, camaraderie, loyalty.
What are you doing?
I'm putting our mark on this place, so we can remember it, now and forever.
And what I find fascinating is that even though you think you've prepared for every eventuality,
They're armed, but they aren't in uniform. And they don't look like soldiers. Insurrectionists, maybe?
every contingency,
So what now?
every permutation,
Wolves. When Deja taught us about the wolves, how they hunt.
What does that... The wolves.
children still manage to surprise you.
Nearly 2 years after beginning Spartan training, each of the 75 were beginning to recognize their strengths and abilities.
Yeah, so they're about 8 or 9
Their
now.
roles as part of a team.
First, I'll need a rabbit. That's me, Kelly said and sprang to her feet. I'm the fastest.
I need help! My friend is hurt!
Working together,
Go bring that girl back.
the 75 children were able to neutralize the guards, commandeer the dropship, and bring it back to base, without leaving anyone behind.
I remember that.
Ah, Doctor. Trainee 117 was just explaining why he attacked and injured UNSC soldiers, and why he stole the property they were left to guard.
Ma'am, the craft was UNSC, but the men in the force were hostile and were not in regulation uniform.
You flew home?
Not exactly. I rigged the autopilot to return to base, ma'am.
And you brought them all home?
According to orders, last trainee to the ship was supposed to walk. Instead, we stuck together. Like the Spartans at Thermopylae.
In the real ending of the story, 117, the Spartans are betrayed and slaughtered. It is their sacrifice that actually saves and unites Greece.
But we had more choices.
The men you hit with rocks didn't.
No, sir. They did not.
So, Doctor, what do we do with this one?
Well, Mendez, I suggest a promotion to squad leader.
Thank you, sir.
Many similar exercises followed. Paintball.
Ah, here we go.
Capture the flag. Month-long missions of sniper elimination in the Hoodoo Maze at Fenyop Basin. Off-planet missions. Spelunking on Emerald Cove.
The entire class had been ordered to paint a set of food dye horns on the flank of every goat in the Bull's Blood wine region without being seen. It had taken 3 nights, and Blue Team had spent the daylight hours hiding in the network of sandstone slot canyons that cut through the Ujaeger Highlands. By the final night, there had been so many locals watching for them that they'd had to extract via a night climb down the Ujaeger cliffs.
Damn.
Blue Team had descended the Black Iron Gorge during an exercise on rafts of lashed logs. The Narrows had reduced their makeshift rafts into toothpicks and nearly drowned them all.
They're resourceful, at least.
Sam had been a natural riverman and had nearly gotten them through the worst of the rapids in one piece. Nearly.
Hey, shout out to Sam. Alright, 2520. Man, it's been 1100 days.
The same month that another rebel uprising occurs on Talitza, and one of the ancient Phoenix-class colony ships, the Spirit of Fire, undergoes refit for wartime duties. The Spartan trainees suffer their first casualty.
But not among their ranks. It was one of their handlers. He used too much force and overcommitted, using his entire body to pin the candidate. Number 137 reversed the pin and then used the instructor's own brawn and mass against him, throwing him, severing the spinal cord at the 5th and 6th vertebrae. Death was immediate.
Severing the
I
spinal
saw
cord.
137
Oof.
crying outside the barracks. I left her alone. Mendez and I concur. No disciplinary action. Memorial services will be held. All candidates will attend, and then training will resume. I've instructed Deja to emphasize the history of military training, that to simulate combat conditions, lethal force is often employed, that accidents are an inherent risk, perhaps even inevitable. Mendez spoke with the child. She understands. She will recover. This bodes well. There will be many deaths before boot is over.
Man, my boot camp was only 13 weeks. 2522. We're like
At
jumping
age
months
30,
and months now, instead of weeks.
Dr. Halsey is made chief scientist, overseeing the entire Office of Naval Intelligence. Her research and oversight will benefit not just her Spartans and special science projects, but every division of the UNSC. Year by year, Dr. Halsey's power and reach has grown. As chief scientist for ONI, the resources at her disposal are nearly infinite. Another major rebellion occurs on the colony world of Andesia, after the citizens grow resentful of the mega-corporations that serve as the planet's de facto government alongside the UEG. The UNSC sends troops to put down what has become another insurrectionist stronghold. The planet becomes a permanent conflict zone, with ongoing turf wars between insurgents, criminals, law enforcement, and UEG forces.
Send in the Spartans. Oh yeah, see? Forward unto dawn.
Hey, bro.
Yeah, I remember him.
I'm on Andesia. It's a jump away from home. Stay,
496.
496. I'm sorry I didn't come yesterday. We got pinned in a firefight for 7 hours. I must have killed a dozen innies, though. I'm gonna be proud.
Forward unto dawn was an amazing movie.
I'm
by
doing
the way.
real good work here. We're doing a good thing.
Reaction video of that movie is on the channel too, if you're interested.
Rich didn't make it. And you remember Rich from back home. He was right there next to me, and then... Was it? A pineapple, so I'm flying in 4 different directions. I had to shave it all off for Rich. Said it made me look tougher.
The Spartan candidates undergo another significant training exercise, a
Physical
robust
rad.
game of capture the flag. Their 7th against Tango Company. 164 full-service UNSC Marine Corps personnel.
Damn.
After 6 years of brutal physical and psychological conditioning, the candidates are no longer recognizable as children.
From a distance, they looked like soldiers on field maneuvers. Each was tall, fit, and agile, and looked to be in their late teens or early 20s. Closer observation told a different story. Each Spartan was no more than 12 years old.
By this time, more specialists had emerged from the Spartan trainees.
Fred flexed his hands, and John could sense his pent-up eagerness to get into close-range combat. John looked up at Linda. "Make sure the guys guarding their flag are removed." "Count on it," Linda replied, and locked her dark green eyes with John's. He wondered if that's what her eyes looked like when she sighted through the sniper scope.
John, Sam, Kelly, and Fajad proved their tactical brilliance by infiltrating Tango Company's base, by clinging to the bottom of supply trucks for over a kilometer. After 7 exercises with the children, Tango Company knows to expect anything. Marines inspect the vehicle's undercarriages using long poles with mirrors at the end. The Spartans use their own mirrors scavenged on the field to reflect the guard's view towards the exposed truck belly.
Oh, nice.
Remaining invisible, inches from their opponents. Once inside the base, they drained battery acid from the trucks, which they used to partially dissolve the floorboards of the barracks from crawl spaces underneath. To these weak points, they attached liberated stun grenades.
Normally, the stun grenades couldn't penetrate centimeter-thick plywood. Once the acid had eaten through the porous fibers, however, the 3 grenades would have more than enough bang to turn that section into 1,000,000 airborne splinters.
Oh!
Shot straight up into the sleeping quarters of Tango Company.
Dude, they're gonna get messed up.
Not lethal, but guaranteed to be one heck of a distraction.
They executed their plan perfectly, liberating the flag and retreating as quickly as they arrived.
The camp was in chaos. Security lights swung about. There were screams from the barracks. A tank rumbled to life and crunched into the center of the base. John ran. Behind them came the staccato report of machine gun fire, just as they entered the safety of the forest. John smiled, panting. "Good work, everyone," he whispered. "I think those guys were using live ammo this time." Kelly held up a brass case from a 7.62 millimeter round. "Yep," she said.
Damn.
"No doubt."
They almost they were evading real live fire.
Still in cover at the extraction zone, finally neutralize any remnants of resistance from Tango Company, and give their all-clear signal, taught during the course of their training.
Their all-clear signal wasn't something that could be wrung from John. Not even torture or CPO Mendez's best coercion techniques would wrest it from him. He would rather have died than betray his teammates. John whistled the sing-song 6-note melody and called, "Ollie, Ollie, Oxenfree!" Linda and Fred dropped down from a tree branch and ran across the field. "Ollie, Ollie, Oxenfree!"
Ollie, Ollie, Oxenfree.
Linda repeated, grinning from ear to ear. "All out on the free. We're all free."
That's interesting. 25, 24.
After more than a decade, Operation Trebuchet, the UNSC's systematic retaliation against insurrectionist forces, has resulted in collateral damage of over 1 million civilian deaths. Public support, by this point, begins to tip in favor of the insurrectionists. Meanwhile, CFHT Mars,
so they're losing
a telescope
support.
observing the Rosette Nebula 5,200 light-years away, detects a moon-sized object crossing its field of view under artificial propulsion. Halsey has sent the data, but can come to no conclusion what it might be.
Oh, the Covenant. I remember in Forward Into Dawn, they didn't know what the Covenant was. So we're starting to approach that timeline.
The UNSC puts down a colonial rebellion on Persia 9 as Halsey finalizes a prototype of her experimental armor system designed to complement her Spartan-IIs, codenamed Mjolnir. She sends it to Naval Special Weapons for approval, with explicit instructions that the suits are only designed to be used by augmented operators.
Yeah, if you're not augmented and use that, you're gonna die.
Halsey and Keyes, the lieutenant who chaperoned her observation of the Spartan recruits, reunite at the University of Calipus on Luna. A child is conceived.
Yep. Remember, it was.
Don't know if it was the
they had a
dizzying
thing
pressure
together.
that I've been under, or the chance reunion with a kindred spirit in a strange place, or something else. But I'm glad it was him.
Later that month, insurrectionists strike at the heart of the UNSC. In orbit around Reach, above the heads of Halsey and her Spartan trainees, a luxury liner carrying more than 1,500 passengers bound for Arcadia is split in two by a pair of unmanned orbital taxis loaded with high-yield explosives. The captain made a final broadcast to nearby ships.
The former naval fighter pilot had calmly directed other ships out of his crippled liner's path, even as it dropped into Reach's atmosphere, bodies billowing from its breached staterooms.
Damn.
And began to burn. This was the first time the insurrectionists had hit a non-terrestrial target. And not only that, but they'd done it above Reach, the epicenter of UNSC power in Epsilon Eridanus. Even though the Innies claimed responsibility for the horrible loss of life, most people were too fearful to believe the rebels' claim. If they could lash out in plain view of the UNSC fleet, what was stopping them from hitting targets in other systems? Sol, for example.
Oh, yeah,
or Harvest.
Yeah, Earth or Harvest.
Oni goes on high alert and plans multiple raids on insurrectionist targets under Operation Trebuchet. 2 Orion operatives lucky enough to remain in service, Staff Sergeants Avery Johnson and Nolan Byrne, lead special forces squads to eliminate an insurrectionist bomb factory on Tribute, the third planet orbiting Epsilon Eridani. 38 civilians and 3 Marines are killed. After a 2-week leave, Johnson and Byrne are transferred to the planet Harvest to train the local militia for potential insurrectionist attacks after multiple cargo freighters jumping to or from the planet have gone missing or been destroyed under unusual circumstances.
I'm furious. My candidates were rerouted during a training exercise to a special forces camp on the other side of Reach. Mendez says his sources speak of interested parties within Oni who want to observe them in action firsthand.
What Halsey didn't know was that, years before, this interested party had gone so far as to have the bodies of the deceased Flash clones retrieved, so autopsies could be performed, and compiled genetic data on the Spartan candidates for another top-secret project. Someone within the Office of Naval Intelligence had gotten wind of the Spartan program and made plans to follow in Halsey's footsteps.
So trying to duplicate the program.
In February the following year, the entire planet of Harvest goes dark. All transmissions from the planet cease, and no requests for reply are acknowledged.
If I remember correctly, Harvest is like pretty much the breadbasket of the UNSC. Like they feed and they create the like greatest amount of food to like feed people. So if that planet goes down, then your food supply is pretty much shot.
A very pregnant Halsey takes an opportunity to talk with John, one-on-one.
I had a rare chance to have a long talk with John today. He is convinced we are about to enter a new, more severe phase of the Spartans' training. How does he know? He told me not to worry, that he and his team were ready for anything. Part of me wants to tell all of them, show them the exact protocols they must endure for the augmentation phase. Part of me wants to offer them a choice. Would any of them refuse? There really is no choice, is there? Not for humanity's sake. Every day the insurgency grows bolder. Millions have died in defense of the outer colonies since we started this. Deja updates and runs my revision of Carver's model weekly. The results grow worse. The Spartans must be forged.
So this is where they start getting augmented?
5 days later, Dr. Halsey gives birth to a daughter.
Miranda?
Miranda.
Yeah.
Her childbirth isn't noted once in her personal journal.
Back to
A final
Onyx.
report on the alien ruins discovered on the planet Onyx is submitted by one Admiral Parangoski of the Office of Naval Intelligence.
March 6th, 2525, military calendar. Subject: Zone 67 funding. Issuing officer: Admiral M.O. Parangoski. After almost 15 years of continuous and ruinously expensive research without a single new useful technology discovered, the budget of the Onyx Initiative has been reprioritized. Although the alien artifacts and hieroglyphics continue to be of interest, recent rebel activities in the outer colonies demand that we face realities and reallocate our finite AI and military personnel to counter this new threat. Onyx is to remain classified, code word top secret. All materials and files have been redesignated under the nomenclature King Under the Mountain. Pursuant to Order 178.8.64.007, any breach of code word classification confidentiality is punishable by the death penalty as per UNSC MIL-JAG 4465/LHG.
Damn, you mentioned
the
it?
Wartime
Bob,
Articles
you
of
get
Secrecy
executed.
and the amended articles of the Homeland Security Act of 2162. A skeleton crew and one AI will continue to probe the mysteries of Zone 67. Maybe they'll hit pay dirt. In the meantime, the rest of us have a war to fight.
In early March, Halsey calls candidate 066 to
Soren.
her office. Soren, the only child to whom she told the truth at the start of the program, and the only child allowed to join willingly. Today, she presents him with a similar choice.
He was 14 now, and standing at attention on the other side of Dr. Halsey's desk. The reason I've brought you here is to give you another choice.
Halo Evolutions.
There's only so much I can tell you, said Dr. Halsey. There's only so much the bodies that we have can do, Soren. So we want to augment them. We want to modify your physical body and mind to push it beyond normal human capabilities. We want to toughen your bones, increase your growth, build your muscle mass, sharpen your vision, improve your reflexes. We want to make you into the perfect soldier. The smile that had been building on her face slowly faded away. However, there will be side
Okay, guys, question. So now you guys know what the side effects are for the augmentation, but also you guys know what the perks are as well, like being much stronger, faster, able to react faster, and all that. So if you guys were in Soren's shoes right now, and Dr. Halsey tells you, what would your choice be? Would you take the augmentation or would you not? For me personally, I'm somewhere in the middle right now. I mean, it sounds really cool to become stronger, faster, and all that, but the chance that you will not make it, and if you do, you will not be the same, and you could have more diseases, more syndromes, and your body could be more damaged than healed and all that. So then I'd like to hear your guys' thought. Would you participate in the augmentation? Please let me know in the comments below.
And if it works?
Likely someone less qualified. I hate this. Dr. Halsey got up and strode to the fire exit. And sometimes, Deja, I hate you too.
Damn. Man, we've come a long way.
As the 14-year-old candidates are shuttled to the medical facility Endurance, in orbit around Reach, Halsey lists the final suite of augmentations they are to receive.
Number 1. Carbide ceramic ossification. Advanced material grafting onto skeletal structures to make bones virtually unbreakable.
Oh, he got that from...
Recommended coverage.
He got these from X-Men, because this was done to Wolverine, I remember.
Not to exceed 3% total bone mass because of significant white blood cell necrosis. For pre- and near post-pubescent adolescents, skeletal growth spurts may cause irreparable bone pulverization. Number 2. Muscular enhancement injections. Protein complex is injected intramuscularly to increase tissue density and decrease lactase recovery time. 5% of test subjects experience a fatal cardiac volume increase. Number 3. Catalytic thyroid implant. Platinum pellet containing human growth hormone catalyst is implanted in the thyroid to boost growth of skeletal and muscle tissues. Rare instances of elephantiasis. Suppressed sexual drive. Number 4. Occipital capillary reversal. Submergence and boosted blood vessel flow beneath the rods and cones of subject's retina produces a marked visual perception increase. Risk: retinal rejection and detachment. Permanent blindness. Number 5. Superconducting fabrication of neural dendrites. Alteration of bioelectrical nerve transduction to shielded electronic transduction. 300% increase in subject reflexes. Anecdotal evidence of marked increase in intelligence, memory, and creativity. Significant instances of Parkinson's disease and Fletcher's syndrome.
Wow.
They start the augmentation phase tomorrow. If only there were a god to pray to.
Tired of ominous music yet? I see what he did there. Augmentation. Oh, I like how it's being crossed out. Like the day of records is now no more.
Over the years, attempts were made to mitigate the risks involved with each enhancement. Halsey even risked sending hypothetical overviews of the experiments to her mentor aboard the UNSC Hopeful, another famed medical and research facility, substituting bonobo chimpanzees in place of the children. As the candidates enter surgery the next day, Halsey takes the time to visit John, potentially for the last time.
Yeah, in case it doesn't make it.
They entered room 117. John lay in bed, and an IV drip was attached to his arm. His head had been shaved, and incision vectors had been lasered onto his entire body. Despite these indignities, Dr. Halsey marveled at what a spectacular physical specimen he had grown into. 14 years old, and he had the body of an 18-year-old Olympic athlete, and a mind the equal of any Naval Academy honors graduate. Dr. Halsey forced the best smile she could muster. "How are you feeling?" "I'm fine, ma'am," John replied groggily. "The nurse said the sedation would take effect soon. I'm fighting it to see how long I can stay awake." His eyelids fluttered. "It's not easy." John spotted Mendez, and he struggled to sit up and salute, but failed. "I know this is one of the chief's exercises, but I don't know what the twist is. Can you tell me, Dr. Halsey? Just this time? How do I win?" Mendez looked away. Dr. Halsey
even he doesn't have an answer
to
for
John
that.
as he
Yeah.
closed his eyes and started to breathe deeply. "I'll tell you how to win, John," she whispered. "You have to survive."
So this is where Lady Luck plays in. You can't do anything. You just hope for the best.
On my 14th birthday, they took me to a lab. And a doctor came in.
I love bees.
It was a lady doctor in a white coat. And the nurse brought out a steel tray covered with picks and scalpels that rattled when she walked. I thought about how I could use them to kill the doctor, but I didn't. I let them strap me down. She picked up this long needle with some yellow liquid in it. Black bars like stripes at the milliliter markings. She said, "This will hardly hurt a bit." She said, "Just a pinch, honey. You'll barely feel it. Just a little sting."
Replay the message, Deja.
Message from Admiral Saronis Jeromi, Chief Medical Officer, Research Station Hopeful.
Catherine, I wish I had better news. Further analysis has yielded 0 alternatives to mitigate the risks in your proposed hypothetical experimentation. But I understand the theoretical framework, Catherine, and admire the imagination. But I hope it is, in fact, a hypothetical study.
Ain't hypothetical.
Details are in the attached files, but your proposed treatments could result in any of the following: cell necrosis, stroke, cardiovascular failure, and even Fletcher's syndrome.
Or death.
You propose the use of lab animals, simian proxies in your tests. I must be blunt. I cannot imagine any more than half of the subjects surviving this process.
Yeah, so there's no safer alternative.
I would hate to see the poor creatures destroyed in some Section 3 project, Dr. Halsey. Well, I've said my piece. Best of luck to you, Catherine.
Doctor, augmentation was always a vital but statistically dangerous stage.
How many?
Oni was promised soldiers, and you are the only mind that could accomplish it.
How many dead, Deja?
27 deceased. 36% of the candidates.
Children. 36% of the children.
The subjects are just
damn.
one half of the equation, Doctor. Both Mjolnir and the cognitive impression modeling are critical.
You're correct.
Doctor?
This is our only option. Every day, the insurrection invents new acts of terror to pull humanity farther into the muck. Our civilization is balanced on a razor's edge, and the insurgents threaten to bring it down around our ears. If even one candidate survives and balance is restored, history will absolve me for the greater good.
Alright, time to receive their armor. 14 days after augmentation. Yeah, after they lost a third of their people.
Samuel 034, Blue Team Mission Report. I don't remember the operation, but when we awoke, we were something new.
Man, look at all those scars.
Unbreakable materials grafted to our bones, gene therapy. Muscle density increased, enhanced skeletal and muscular growth.
Five more days. UNSC Atlas en route to Lambda
Duty.
Serpentis system.
Honor. Self-sacrifice.
We were 14 when we lost almost half of our comrades to augmentation failures.
Death does not diminish these qualities in a soldier. We shall remember our dead. Honors, attention!
Kids I grew up with, never said goodbye to.
We commit the bodies of our fallen to space,
I still remember their names. The deaths affected each of us differently. Fire teams came and went, but core loyalties and friendships endure, even beyond death. Of course, it didn't sit well with John.
Some of them are confined to a
There were a
wheelchair.
dozen others, though, who had lived, but were no longer soldiers. Fahajad sat in a wheelchair, shaking uncontrollably. Kirk and Renee were in neutral buoyancy gel tanks, breathing through respirators. Their bones had been so twisted they no longer looked human. There were others, still alive, but with injuries so critical they could not be moved. Orderlies pushed Fahajad and the other injured toward the elevator.
Where are you taking my men?
Let them go, squad leader. They can't fight anymore. They don't belong here.
What happens to them?
The Navy takes care of its own. Their minds are still sharp, and our war effort can always use soldiers for less physical duties.
John never left anyone behind, not if he could help it.
Was there something else, son?
Sir, I'm squad leader. Members of my unit died. What should I have done to keep that from happening?
117, John. What your class went through, that any of you survived at all is a testament to your strength. Walk with me. A leader must be ready to send the men under his command to their deaths. Your duty is to the mission.
I'm sorry, sir, but I fail to see how that applies to this situation.
The lesson is sacrifice. It is acceptable to spend lives when necessary, squad leader. What is not acceptable is to waste said lives.
Which was this, sir? Spent or wasted?
Get some rest, squad leader.
Yeah, he's just trying to ease his conscience. A few more days.
Bodies of augmentation washouts are cryogenically preserved, pending further study. Perhaps one day we'll discover ways to ameliorate or reverse lethal side effects, and revive some, if not all of them. That is my hope. Reviving these candidates would be fraught with complexities, and not just from a technological perspective.
So she's trying to like fix the ones
How
that
would they
survive.
respond to an essentially new world when resuscitated months or even years later? How would surviving Spartans react to their comrades' resurrection? I certainly can't predict. But one thing is certain. Oni would find a use for them. Those ravaged by malformations too serious to continue in the SPARTAN-II program have been offered various desk duties within Oni,
So admin.
thus allowing them to move on with a semblance of normality. I've assigned Deja to investigate as yet theoretical therapies that may resuscitate these washouts as fully functioning Spartans. One protocol already looks promising. The complete bone restructuring and attendant nanographs to effectively replace the skeletal system in toto. This may prove especially useful for Renee or Kirk. I'll let them adjust to their new jobs for several months before suggesting some of these experimental procedures, by which time the candidates will likely be willing to try anything to recover. Their paths may be the most arduous of all Spartans, but I can't see them surviving rigorous indoctrination and training, only to become passive spectators.
Shortly after, she makes the first note in her journal about her biological daughter.
After how long?
She will have to answer for making me drink decaf.
Wait, how old is she now? "40 days after augmentation."
In response to the communications blackout from Harvest, the CMA deploys its nearest scout ship, the Argo, to investigate. A confirmation report is received that it exited slip space at the planet, before it, too, goes dark.
So that means the Covenant are still there.
For the last 3 weeks, the Spartans had gone through a daily routine of stretching, isometric exercises, light sparring drills, and lots of eating. They were under orders to consume 5 high-protein meals a day.
Damn!
After every meal, they had to report to the ship's medical bay for a series of mineral and vitamin injections. John was looking forward to getting back to Reach and his normal routine. He was clumsy now. Sometimes you could barely walk without falling. Dr. Halsey had assured him that these side effects were a good sign. Your brain must relearn how to move your body with faster reflexes and stronger muscles, she told him.
That kid was a monster. Right? They all were.
Hunt
the kid
the
was
truth.
a freak. Me and a bunch of guys were sparring in the gym one day, and there was this young kid there.
Oh, I remember this scene,
I guess
yeah.
you could call him a kid. He was pretty jacked, but his face looked 12, maybe 13.
John worked every machine, then moved to a speed bag. His fist jabbed forward, cobra quick, and struck. The speed bag moved, but slowly, like it was underwater.
That's how
Far
he sees
too
it.
slowly, considering how hard he had hit it. The tension on the line must be turned way down. He twanged the line and it hummed. It was tight.
John was still processing our losses.
So he went to the gym.
Emotionally and physically. For weeks after augmentation, every bone in our bodies ached. Our eyes throbbed and bled. We got headaches, fell down, clumsy in our new skins. Dr. Halsey told us our brains would have to relearn how to work with our new bodies, learn how to use new strength and speed. But it wasn't easy.
ODSTs.
And it was frustrating. The thing about
didn't put the
John
pen back,
is
did
that
he?
he really only knew 3 ways to react to people. If you were his superior officer, he obeyed you. If you were in his squad, he would die for you. But if you were a threat,
you die.
Then God help you.
Yeah.
Stand down! A booming voice echoed across the gym. A sergeant stepped into the gym and strode toward them. Unlike Mendez, who was fit and trim and was always serious, this man's stomach bulged over his belt, and he looked bemused. The sergeant eyed John and the ODSTs.
You're all so eager to fight. Get in the ring and go to it.
What, hold on, Anthony. Wait.
My money's on John.
You're telling me that the CPO ordered 4 soldiers to fight a high school kid?
No, a 12 or 13-year-old, like I said.
Yeah, fine. Either way, the CPO ordered 4 ODSTs to fight a kid.
You got it all wrong, okay? Because those 4 ODSTs were like lambs to the slaughter.
What, John outfought them?
No. It was way worse.
As he tells it, the ODSTs did as they were ordered.
Get all ready, right? They get squared up.
They surrounded John, and one of them swung. What happened next, Petrosky says, defied explanation.
Because the sound this kid's fist made, it sounded awful. Because they weren't like punches, they were like rapid fire explosions. Okay, I was across the gym, but I heard it. It was sick. Like meaty cracks in a drum roll. It was just like...
One of the ODSTs sustained a single body blow that instantly stopped his heart, killing him. Another trooper only took one shot from John as well. A punch that caved in the man's face. 2 fatalities, 1 ODST with a cracked pelvis, and 1 with a shattered spine. That guy never walked again. No one had to break up the fight. It was over in less than 5 seconds. Wait, he killed them?
What he did was impossible.
What do you mean impossible?
Well, they're no longer ODSTs.
Like not human, all right? Like he was genetically augmented.
Heart rate steady, pulse level. He's barely breaking a sweat.
What is he doing?
What we built him to do. He's winning.
I'm gonna stop this now.
How is his adrenaline level, I wonder?
Attention!
The ODSTs lay crumpled on the ground, either unconscious or dead. Mendez, at the far end of the gym, strode toward the boxing ring. The sergeant stood with his mouth open.
Chief Mendez, sir.
He snapped a crisp salute.
What are you?
His eyes widened and he murmured.
He's one of them, isn't he?
Medics are on the way, Mendez said calmly. He stepped closer to the sergeant. There are 2 intel officers waiting for you in ops. They'll debrief you. He stepped back. I suggest you report to them immediately.
The workout is over for today.
Sir, those men. Was this a test?
You engaged and neutralized the threat, squad leader.
They started it. I was defending myself. But still, they were fellow soldiers.
People died. Sacrifice is a necessary consequence of war.
But sir, they were wasted, not spent. Because of me.
Your priorities are to follow orders, and to preserve your life and the lives of your team. Is that clear, squad leader?
Yes, sir.
We heard what happened. Everyone on the ship did. It was an accident. That didn't make it any easier for John.
Yeah, now he's, like, having a moral dilemma.
Afterwards, the Office of Naval Intelligence, through our COs, issued an order of absolute suppression of all accounts of this incident. Through coercion, pressure being brought to bear, we were ordered to keep silent, to never speak of this publicly, upon fear of court-martial.
Yeah, so basically Oni is like what's protecting Halsey and John. Because if they did it, they would have been long gone.
Although Halsey recorded high praises for the Spartans in her journal, she continued to deal with runaways. Some, it seemed, had maintained their desire to leave for years, executing plans to escape only once their augmentations granted them physical superiority over their captors.
Yeah. Like Soren.
Once back at their training camp, another 5 Spartans attempted escape.
We're not gonna be your toys anymore!
She's right. We're sick of your training.
We're leaving, and you can't stop us!
Where's this from?
Of the 5 escapees from the facility, only subject Joseph 122 has been captured. The search for the other 4 is a priority red directive. Repeat, the search for the other 4 is a priority red directive.
1 Spartan, Daisy 023, managed to stow away aboard a transport bound for her homeworld of Sargasso.
So that's where she's from. Well, I never heard of Daisy.
Once there, she managed to find her childhood home.
That's her home?
And the Flash clone who replaced her. Kept alive years longer than expected through the support of her wealthy parents.
Yeah, they're wealthy, alright.
Notice any resemblance?
The secrecy of the Spartan-II program could not be jeopardized, but the disappearance of 75 recruits for the program would have created some difficult questions.
But if the children never vanished, there would be no questions to ask, would there? The clone lives a life in your place. The life that was originally meant for you. Come back to the facility, 23. It is where you belong. It's home.
Oh, she's gonna kill a Flash clone?
Sometimes I have this dream. Always the same dream. I dream I'm strong. Stronger than anyone. Like you. Just like you are.
Oh, she didn't do it.
Here, I want you to have this. But why me? I don't know, to be honest with you. Something tells me that I should. I want you to take it.
Officer gets called to the scene of a home invasion. It's this middle-aged couple and the teenage son who's in a wheelchair. The officer comforts the victims, assesses the situation, calls it in. It wasn't a confrontation or anything. No valuables appeared to be missing. Victims didn't even get a good look at the guy. The perpetrator just entered the house, went into the son's room, son freaked out, perpetrator fled the scene, blah, blah, blah. Now everything seems to be okay. During his report to dispatch, though, the officer gets startled by a sound, reports a possible shots fired somewhere nearby. Backup arrives to canvass the area. About 10 minutes later, same officer reports discovering a body in a nearby field. It's a teenage kid, dead from what appears to be a self-inflicted gunshot.
Damn.
7 Charlie 19, what's the rush?
So the Spartan took his own life.
The kid from the home invasion over at STEM. I mean, it's 1056? Looks like his identical twin. I don't even know what to say. 7 Charlie 19, ME is en route.
My clone. He was sick. I think I killed him.
Don't do this to yourself, Ralph. You did what you had to do. So did I.
Daisy?
Transport to base. Custody of Daisy 23 and Ralph 303 restored. Subjects ETA 1 hour. After making contact with their clones, the remaining 2 escapees used their small arms to commit suicide.
So 1 captured, 2 restored, and 2 committed. So took their own lives.
Nearly 3 months after augmentation, Soren 066
escaped.
Finally comes out of a coma.
He awoke to find himself screaming. He was restrained, tied down to some sort of table or bed, and he felt like he was on fire, his skin itching and burning. The veins on his arms stood out and pulsed and felt as if they were being torn slowly out of his skin. He flexed his wrist and pulled, and the strap around it started to tear. It felt like a series of plate glass windows were shattering beneath his skin, the muscles quivering and contorting over and into one another. There were men and women in white coats all around him, but keeping a little distance, except for one trying to approach him from just behind his head, almost out of sight, with a raised hypodermic. They were all moving slowly, too slowly, as if something was wrong with them, as if they were underwater. He tugged at the strap again and it tore like paper, and then he tugged at the other wrist and both hands were free. He was still screaming, couldn't stop. He reached out and grabbed the hand with the hypodermic in it and squeezed, was surprised how quickly his fingers reacted, and even more surprised to hear the bones in the man's wrist crackling like dry wood as they snapped.
Oof.
Then he was out of the bed and running for the door, but something was wrong there, too. He was having a hard time keeping his balance. The whole world seemed to be coming at him at an angle, and his legs weren't working in the way he expected. To the end of the hall, he remembered, then right, and then the outer doors. Between him and it was a line of 5 or 6 Marines, kneeling, pointing their weapons at him. And there, standing just behind them, hands on his hips, was CPO Mendez.
Man, this guy's everywhere.
He heard the shots, oddly muffled. It wasn't bullets they were firing, he realized as he saw the blur of red flash by his elbow, but tranquilizer darts. He turned back and found now, just behind the line of Marines, and out of breath, Dr. Halsey. "Don't hurt him," she was shouting. "Please!" "Dr. Halsey," he cried when he saw her. "What have you done to me?" Arms outstretched, he took a single step toward her and collapsed. When he woke up, he was in the brig, his wrists now in titanium wristlets, each of them hooked firmly by a titanium chain to a ring in the wall.
Yeah, to make sure he can't go.
They were too strong for him to break out of easily. When he stood, he realized there was something wrong with his legs. They were strong, the muscles differentiated and much larger than before. But the muscles had done something to the bone, twisting them, curving them in the odd directions. One leg was more or less normal, just a little bit bowed and twisted. The other, though, was gnarled and a good 6 inches shorter.
Oof.
And seemed more comfortable when folded up. That leg's ankle was rubbery and left the foot flopping.
I just want to say, because I remember in the TV show, the Halo TV show, that Soren, not his leg, but his like left arm was like way messed up. Like you could see it all like gnarled up. His fingers looked like it was only like 3. Was that the result of the augmentation? Or is that just something that the show just made up? Please let me know in the comments.
He could still stand, but only at an angle, leaning far to the side. And he was more comfortable, he realized, if he used a hand for balance as well. His arms, too, were rippling with muscle and seemed almost impossibly strong. They were, for the most part, fine. But the fingers of one hand had become twisted and bowed, functioning now less like individual articulated digits and more like a single pincer or claw.
Never mind. He answered it.
Halsey meets with Soren after his panic has subsided.
But I didn't know about the leg.
"We thought you were going to die," she said, and reached out to touch his arm. "You've been comatose for nearly 3 months. Again and again, they thought you were going to die. It reached the point where we decided to disconnect life support. You flatlined for almost 4 minutes, and then your heart started beating on its own again." He gestured at his legs, his gnarled hand. "What happened to me?" he asked.
"You were augmented."
"Your body reacted badly to the muscular enhancement injections and the thyroid implant," she said. "Basically, your muscles grew in ways and directions that we couldn't predict, and then tried to crush or twist the bones beneath them. We were able to use the carbide ceramic ossification process to stabilize and strengthen the bones and to stop it before it became too severe. But as you can see, we had better luck with some limbs than others. On the other hand, you're stronger than even we imagined. The straps on the operating table were strong, with a titanium microweave through the cloth. They were over-engineered to hold any of the other Spartans in place, but they weren't enough to hold you." She reached out and touched his arm again. "I'm sorry, Soren," she said. He refused to meet her eyes. "I made the choice," he said. "I have nobody to blame but myself."
I wonder if he
Planning is underway.
I wonder if he would have still taken the augmentation if he knew that his arm and leg was going to end up like that.
For experimental surgery, therapies, and rehabilitations for more than 80% of the augmentation washouts. Several of these protocols may take years to complete.
So I guess there's no more subtitles.
AIs predict a survival rate of no greater than 50%. But I suspect the Spartans' will to serve, to live again, will radically boost that percentage. They've always exceeded expectations.
The next day, Halsey is relocated from Camp Hathcock to Castle Base, which she will use as a base of operations for another 27 years.
Wow, I'm 27 years old.
With rehabilitations underway for the augmented Spartans and washouts, Halsey receives word that her Mjolnir armor prototypes have been approved for a limited run production.
I was led to believe that a decision would be hopelessly mired in military bureaucracy for at least another 3 months. Must follow up with my source on what prompted our military collective to make such a prompt decision. Can't be good news. It seems certain brass sycophants wanted to discredit my theories by actually putting a volunteer into the prototype suit. Lamentably, they ignored my emphatic warning about the reactive circuitry being fine-tuned for augmented Spartans with reflexes and strength far beyond human norm. When the suit was activated, the volunteer's first muscular twitch was amplified via the positive feedback loop. Without proper physiology and training to compensate, the feedback increased in amplitude and frequency until, in the words of one witness, the poor bastard ricocheted like a rubber ball. Broke several bones. Snapped his spine in 3 different places. I had specific safety measures to handle this precise situation. And I will find out which idiot failed to enable all the monitors.
Wow. She's really good at drawing.
Long for you.
So that explains in the TV show why Soren only had like the chest and like the centerpiece. He didn't have one for the arm because it didn't fit. So that makes sense. I mean, like maybe some of you guys just like found out and figured that out just by looking, but for me, sometimes I just have to like listen and try to piece things together. But ultimately, this is what led his decision to run away.
But they
What I find interesting now with the timelines is like at the beginning and like in the middle, we've been like jumping like months, even years within like seconds, but now we're in 2025, 25, sorry, 25, that now we're like going by like just weeks and months now. Like the timeline has slowed down a little bit.
With testing almost complete on her Mjolnir suits, Halsey moves production to the Damascus Materials Testing Facility near Kai Seti 4.
Oh yeah, wasn't that in
a
Halo?
mining facility capable of handling the super toxic materials needed to manufacture the suits.
Wasn't that in Halo Reach video game? Or am I thinking about another location?
She takes a trip to the system to oversee the beginnings of production. On September 11th, she is back on Reach.
9/11.
After an accelerated assembly timeline.
Cortana.
Where Deja interrupts her work.
Apologies, Doctor, but I've been attempting to decode a transmission from the planet Harvest.
And?
It's fragmented and incomplete, and it stopped repeating.
Show me what you have.
It's the Covenant. See the outline of the ship.
Gods. Deja, give me a feed from Harvest.
Scanning spectrum.
Anything. A comm station, a news feed, a grain elevator, damn it.
Not found. It may be interference, or a problem with the slipspace beacon relays. Harvest is on a 12-hour signal delay.
Get Mendez, but keep scanning Harvest. I'm accelerating the schedule. I want to test in a combat mission.
Ma'am, that's needlessly aggressive.
I disagree. Brass wants Spartans deployed, and so do I.
Alright, time for combat.
I wasn't informed that you would be visiting today. In fact,
Fall
I
of
had
Reach.
understood that you were out of the system for another week. I would have made arrangements. I'm sure you would have. She folded her hands in her lap. Our situation has changed. Where are my Spartans? They are not in their barracks, nor on any of the ranges. Mendez hesitated. They can no longer train here, ma'am. We have had to find them in other facilities.
Mendez explains that the Spartans' trainers are now using old Mark I exoskeletons recovered from storage in a UNSC titanium mine for training.
Their trainers are using them for their own safety. When the Spartans recovered from microgravity therapy, they were eager to get back to their routine. However, we experienced some... He paused, searching for the right word. Difficulties. His face was grim. Their first day back, 3 trainers were accidentally killed during hand-to-hand combat exercises. Dr. Halsey cocked an eyebrow. Then they are faster and stronger than we anticipated? That, Mendez replied, would be understating the situation.
Mendez takes Halsey to an underground bunker to witness another game of Capture the Flag.
Floodlights snapped on and illuminated a section of the cavern the size of a football field. In the center stood a concrete bunker. 3 men in the primitive Mark I power armor stood on top. 6 more stood evenly spaced around the perimeter. A red banner had been planted in the center of the bunker.
The trainers in those exoskeletons can run at 32 kilometers per hour, lift 2 tons, and have a 30mm minigun mounted on self-targeting armatures.
Damn.
It would take 2 or 3 platoons of conventional Marines to take that bunker. Mendez spoke again in the microphone, and his voice echoed off the cavern walls.
Start the drill.
60 seconds ticked by. Nothing happened. 120 seconds. Where are the Spartans? Dr. Halsey asked.
Oh, they're there.
They're here, Mendez replied. Dr. Halsey caught a glimpse of motion in the dark. A shadow against shadows. A familiar silhouette. From above, A man free rappelled down from the girders and gantries overhead.
Like a ninja.
The newcomer landed behind one of the perimeter guards, quiet as a cat. He punched the guard's armor twice, denting the heavy plates, then dropped low and swept the target's legs out from under him. The guard sprawled on the ground. The Spartan attached his rappelling line to the trainer. A moment later, the writhing guard shot upward into the darkness. Two other guards turned to attack. The Spartan dodged, rolled, and melted into the shadows. Dr. Halsey realized the trainer's exoskeleton wasn't being pulled up. It was being used as a counterweight. Two more Spartans, dangling from the other end of that rope, dropped unnoticed into the center of the bunker. Dr. Halsey immediately recognized one of them, although he was dressed entirely in black, save his open eye slits. Number 117.
John.
John landed, braced, and kicked one guard. The man landed in a heap, 8 meters away. The other Spartan jumped off the bunker. He flipped end over end, evading the stun rounds that filled the air. He threw himself at the farthest guard, and they skidded together into the shadows. The guard's gun strobed once. Then it was dark again. On top of the bunker, John was a blur of slashing motions. A second guard's exosuit erupted in a fountain of hydraulic fluid, and then collapsed under the armor's weight. The last guard on the bunker turned to fire at John. Halsey gripped the edge of her chair. He's at point-blank range. Even stun rounds can kill at that distance. As the guard's gun fired, John sidestepped. The stun rounds slashed through the air. A clean miss. John grabbed the weapon's armature, twisted, and with a screech of stressed metal, wrenched it free of the exoskeleton. No! He fired directly into the man's chest and sent him tumbling off the bunker. The remaining quartet of perimeter guards turned and sprayed the area with suppression fire. A heartbeat later, the lights went out. Mendez cursed and keyed the mic.
Backups! Hit the backup lights now!
A dozen amber floods flickered to life. Not a Spartan was in sight, but the 9 trainers were either unconscious or lay immobile in inert battle armor. The red flag was gone.
Oh, man.
Dr. Halsey leaned against the glass wall, staring at the carnage below. Very well, Chief Mendez. What else do I need to know?
Yeah, they're like ninjas.
Your Spartans can run at bursts of up to 55 kilometers per hour, he explained. Kelly can run a little faster, I think. They will only get quicker as they adjust to the alterations we've made to their bodies. They can lift 3 times their body weight, and they can virtually see in the dark.
They should not be performing so well. What are their reaction times?
Almost impossible to chart. We estimated at 20 milliseconds, Mendez
Maybe
replied.
faster considering how John did it.
He shook his head, then added,
I believe it's significantly faster in combat situations when their adrenaline is pumping.
Any physiological or mental instabilities?
None. They work like no team I've ever seen before. They were dropped in these caves yesterday, and I don't know where they got black suits or the rope for that maneuver, but I can guarantee they haven't left this room. They improvise and improve and adapt. And, he added, they like it.
Dr. Halsey watched as the first trainer stirred and struggled to get out of his inert armor.
How are we supposed to stop someone like that?
You don't.
They might as well have been killed, she murmured. But can the Spartans kill, Chief? Kill on purpose? Are they ready for real combat? Mendez looked away and paused before he spoke.
Yes, if we ordered them to, they would kill quite efficiently.
His body stiffened.
May I ask what real combat you mean, ma'am?
She clasped her hands
Live
and
rounds.
wrung them nervously. Something has happened, Chief. The brass wants to deploy the Spartans. They want to test them in a real combat mission.
They're as ready for that as I can make them, Mendez said.
Yeah, but it's against the Covenant.
He'd narrowed his dark eyes.
But this is far ahead of your schedule. What happened? I've heard rumors there was some heavy action near Harvest Colony.
Your rumors are out of date, Chief, she said, and a chill crept into her voice. There's no more fighting at Harvest. There is no more Harvest.
UNSC Pioneer.
John remembered Eridanus II, vaguely recalled that it once was home. He wondered if his old school, his family, were still there. He squelched his curiosity. Speculation made for a fine mental exercise, but the mission came first.
Colonel Robert Watts earned his rank in the UNSC, but in 2512 he went turncoat, and now leads the insurrectionist forces in the Eridanus system. Watts has spent 12 years leading raids against UNSC targets, killing civilians and military alike. We have intel that Watts is planning to attack medical satellites in the outer colonies.
Recently, one of Watts' men cut a deal with Oni. We have known for some time that Watts' forces were launching from the Eridanus asteroid belt. But there are millions of rocks scattered over billions of kilometers.
Our informant did not know the exact location. However, he did know that the freighter Leyden is a supply vessel. Mendez.
Leyden is set to leave dock in 6 hours for routine engine recertification. And yet, she's been loaded with enough food and water to supply a small city. Spartans, you will be dropped at the Eridanus II space docks. You'll be dressed the same as members of the Leyden crew. Once in the base, you will infiltrate the installation and take Watts alive, if you can.
I remember this mission in the movie.
They would have detected a UNSC ship. They wouldn't detect us.
Be prepared for anything. Finally, squad leader, you are hereby promoted to Petty Officer 3rd Class.
So he's at E4 now.
Everything went off without a hitch. Before long, we were safe in the microgravity well.
I'm up. What have you got?
I picked up where Kelly left off, and I found something odd in the ship's manifest. Hidden in the standard rations, there's a single crate of cigars, steaks, and chocolates. Luxury items.
That crate is going to Watts.
Precisely what I was thinking.
Cigar, steaks, and chocolates, huh?
Kelly, get a bearing on that crate.
On the monorail, headed towards the tallest building in town.
Only the best for Colonel Watts.
Nav marker at 443 meters and holding.
Top floor. Helmets on. Move out.
The mission goes according to plan. The Spartans engage in their first live firefight, utilizing their advanced training and reflexes to get the best of Watts and his men.
That SMG was OP in Halo 3 ODST.
And come out victorious.
Won't take me alive. My men will come for you.
Empty the crate. Sam, load the cargo.
Cargo? Unhand me, boy. I don't know who or what you are, but I know two things, son. One, none of you are getting out alive. And two, I am absolutely not getting in that damned box.
I don't think you have a choice here.
Using a stolen UNSC Pelican located in the docks, the Spartans managed to blast open the hangar doors.
While John watched, a gaping hole materialized in the airlock door, amid a cloud of smoke and shattered metal. Black space loomed beyond. With an ear-splitting roar, the atmosphere held in the docks abruptly transformed into a hurricane. People, crates, and debris were blasted out of the ragged tear. Dozens of workers still on the docks ran for their lives.
The Wilhelm scream.
but didn't make it. He knew he should feel elated, but instead he just felt tired. Something didn't sit right about the operation. He wondered about all the dead dock workers and civilians back there. None of them were designated targets, and yet, weren't they all rebels on that asteroid?
That's the question.
On the other hand,
Wasted
it was
or
like
spent?
the chief said. He had followed his orders, completed his mission, and gotten his people out alive. What more did he want? John stuffed his doubts deep in the back of his mind. What could be wrong? We won.
Alright, we're back on Reach.
We believe we had dealt the insurrection a mortal blow. Maybe we did. But everything was about to change.
Keys.
Who's that?
Uniform says Keys. Maybe he's here to interrogate Watts?
Nice work, 117. John, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Have we met?
A long time ago. You wouldn't remember. You were just a kid fighting in the dust. Now you're a warrior, and just in the nick of time.
Sir?
You'll know soon enough. Dismissed.
Amphitheater Spartans, on the double.
What do you think it is? Insurrection revenge strike?
It's something else. Something big.
At ease, Spartans. I am Vice Admiral Stanforth. This is Harvest. Population of 3 million. A peaceful and productive farming world. On February 3rd, at 14:23 hours, the Harvest orbital platform made long-range radar contact with this object. After that, all contact with Harvest was lost. Command assembled a battle group. What they found was all that was left of Harvest. 3 million lives lost. The colony burned to ash. Power like humanity has never seen.
Yeah, they got glassed.
Then, they encountered this. A starship of unknown design. It destroyed the Vostok in Arabia in under a minute, using highly advanced weapons and impenetrable shielding. The Heracles escaped into slip space with substantial damage and brought this intel back. They will not negotiate. They will not communicate. They cannot be reasoned or bartered with.
We had just fought the insurrectionists. Stopped a plot to murder millions. Only to realize that this could be the very end of humankind. Period.
Humanity will fight back. But we've already seen that we cannot do it with the blunt instrument of a fleet. We need the surgical precision of a scalpel. The Spartan program is that scalpel. We received a message before the attack, in UEG base English. Play the message, Beowulf.
Your destruction is the will of the gods, and we are their instrument.
Yeah, so now they're no longer fighting humans, they're now fighting alien. First contact. Three more minutes. Oh wait, it's already over? Oh, that was it. Yeah, well, let's give some recognition to, and shout out to these guys. I mean, they did an amazing job with the voice acting. Troy Baker. Fact checking, very important.
Everyone. If you made it to this part of the video, then you just sat through over 2 hours of Halo lore.
Yep.
So I'll keep this message brief. This video cost me over $1,500 to produce. Payments that were split between software licenses and subscriptions, as well as commissions for the talented artists whose work you saw and heard in this video.
That's crazy.
If you enjoyed what you saw, or if you've enjoyed any of Offscreen's videos over the past 6 years, check out Offscreen's Patreon page, where you can support this work on a monthly basis and help alleviate the costs of this video, as well as ones I've got planned for the future. I'll be posting a full breakdown of the expenses for this project in a Patreon post soon, so as to maintain complete transparency about where the funds are going and why they're necessary. If you're unable to support on a monthly basis, I totally understand. Offscreen also has a Buy Me a Coffee page, where you can leave a one-time tip if you've enjoyed any of the videos you've watched in the past. This was the longest video I've produced for the channel so far, and it was a passion project for me that was many years in the making. I'm truly grateful for the time you've spent watching, and to everyone who's subscribed to support my vision of exploring the power of storytelling across various mediums. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.